Hey, Whatsoever Critic, I need your help with the review. Look, if this is about the good, the bad, and the ugly, forget it. No. I'm talking about episode 2 of the LarryBoy Cartoon Adventures series. Alright, fine. But I ain't helping you with episode 4.
The second episode of the Cartoon Adventure series, we're still far from the worst LarryBoy video yet, but this episode has the most forgettable villain in the LarryBoy universe.
So, how good or bad is this movie? Well, seeing that Whatsoever Critic is going to be joining us, I'm going to combine my critique with hers, and for hers, it's going to be from her blog post. I can't believe you're making me do this. This is LarryBoy and Leggo My Ego.
Skipping the intro, the movie opens at a carnival where Larry the Cucumber introduces us to a first world problem: being scared of going on a ride.
Too bad this wasn't at Six Flags. Yeah, and besides, all this over a Ferris wheel? Well, we get our first zinger.
Which is Archie telling him that the Ferris wheel hasn't even started yet.
Okay, I'll admit, that was a little corny, that joke.
Just then, we see both Larry and Archie seeing trouble brewing. What are they looking at that is so terrifying, you ask? A cotton candy machine gone haywire.
So that's warranting of a 1,000-mile stare?
So as Larry races to the rescue, "Aw, Archie can't ride the Ferris wheel now." Well, he lets us know that because he says that he never gets to ride the Ferris wheel. LarryBoy manages to plug up the machine, but this method is short-lived because the thing explodes, and cotton candy creates a big ol' mess throughout the park. Luckily, these two bums, Herbert and Wally, who you may remember from the beginning of Angry Eyebrows, step in to eat the cotton candy.
Don't these guys know 10-second rule? Dude, there is no 10-second rule.
And it isn't long until Archie finds a bottle of catalyzer, and then Officer Olaf apparently recognizes who did this horrible crime. And apparently, Archie knows about this too.
They probably cheated by looking at the movie script ahead of time. Wow, that would be really meta and funny if that was the case.
Now, speaking of the villain, where is he? Not even close. Actually, it's this guy, the alchemist.
Wait, why would he go back to the crime scene? It's like he wants to stay on set and annoy the authorities.
Now, the bad guy hits LarryBoy with a chemical spray, but is immediately captured by a police van.
Wow, I didn't think this episode was this short. Me neither. Well, Whatsoever Critic, thanks for joining me in this review. No prob. Can I get you anything? Got any wine? Yeah, sure, why not? Wait, it's still going? Oh man, I forgot about this part.
The alchemist tells LarryBoy that he's the worst superhero ever because Herbert and Wally got rid of the cotton candy and Officer Olaf did the capturing.
And just ignore him, LarryBoy. He's just being a sore loser. I mean, he just got arrested. Well, let's not forget about this other person who's working for the alchemist. Oh yeah.
We definitely know this because she's monologuing on how the alchemist's plan is now in effect.
Why do I sense foreshadow? Dude, wait, cut it out. School is gonna start. Wait a minute, school? What class are you talking about? Well, hey, did you hear? LarryBoy's in a superhero class. But I thought you didn't like that particular class that LarryBoy is going to. Yeah, well, that's what's happening in this next scene.
Bok Choy teaches a lesson about pride, but LarryBoy is too busy trying to get a girl to like him. Yeah, I know, it's irrelevant. LarryBoy walks home, still moping around, and while he's doing that, the squad car from earlier coincidentally crashes, and the alchemist coincidentally escapes.
Okay, hang on. The alchemist got arrested during the day, and now it got to dusk, and they're not even at the police station yet. These are the worst cops ever. That's because this movie was written by monkeys. Dude, we haven't gotten to episode 4 yet, and that episode was written by monkeys.
LarryBoy checks on Officer Olaf, who's banged up from the accident, but LarryBoy is too depressed to help the officer from the vehicle, and way too depressed to even get the officer to the emergency room.
Okay, what is it with people not giving each other medical attention in this universe?
I mean, LarryBoy could have had, internal bleeding from his fight with the rumor weed, and he could have died from a concussion when he went down that tube and angry eyebrows.
What is wrong with you people? Okay, calm down, Fanatic. This is just a cartoon. It's a LarryBoy cartoon, and as LarryBoy Fanatic, I care about him.
LarryBoy hears a distress call coming from down the street. He arrives to see Mother Pearl, who's apparently dressed as the camp master from Camp Lazlo, if he had a mustache. So this hag asks for Officer Olaf, and this has LarryBoy say so many bad things about Olaf, causing him to blow orange clouds from his ears. Okay, and the cloud shrinks Officer Olaf down to size, and the officer is captured by the alchemist.
So what's this guy's plan? I don't know, but so far this is lame.
We cut to next day, where LarryBoy sees really big statues of Herbert and Wally.
What? Yeah, I don't understand either.
Then Mother Pearl pops out of nowhere, donning a wig and a clown nose.
Lady, do us a favor. Stop with the dang disguises. I mean, we already know it's you.
Mother Pearl starts glorifying Herbert and Wally, but LarryBoy calls them a couple of minis compared to him. Another cloud comes out of his ear and shrinks Herbert and Wally. And, just like the officer, Herbert and Wally are captured by the alchemist.
We already know where this is going. Definitely.
Anyway, the alchemist brings the shrunken down victims into, I guess, a knockoff of Luigi's Mansion and puts them inside a box with holes in it.
And as if this scene can't get any more stupid, guess how he and Mother Pearl know each other? Who is this woman to the alchemist? Is she his gangbanger or his Igor type person? Oh my gosh. That's his mother? Really? We're really going with that.
Then the alchemist reveals his evil plan in the most diabolical way ever, showing his victims a PowerPoint. Oh good, a PowerPoint! Nothing but the finest for this so-called villain. Is it weird to say that during this scene, I'm wondering why the slideshow's images looks like they were drawn by a 7-year-old? The alchemist explains that he sprayed his flour on LarryBoy. Now that LarryBoy is infected with the chemicals, every time he builds himself up and puts others down, orange puffs of smoke would find their targets of LarryBoy's pride and shrink them.
No. The mother is the one explaining all of this, not the alchemist. Wait, I was gonna say that. It's on my blog.
So Mother Pearl bothers our hero some more, making him feel less and less special, to the point where LarryBoy degrades everyone in town, causing an orange dust storm to apparently shrink everyone, except for the alchemist and Mother Pearl.
Now you would think think that the alchemist and Mother Pearl would shrink as well, because LarryBoy mentions all of Bumblingburg. Well, he mentions Bumblingburg in that sentence of his rant. Maybe the villains are immune to the chemical spray? Oh my gosh, don't try to explain it.
Okay, LarryBoy returns to the Larry Cave to sulk to his butler Archie. You know, the guy that complains about not being able to ride a Ferris wheel earlier. But what a surprise! Archie has been shrunken down too. But that's not important because the guys are able to locate the alchemist's lair. Soon, LarryBoy arrives at the villain's mansion.
Are you kidding me? That's right, you're looking at the payoff to this whole thing.
Funny how the title card shows LarryBoy being afraid of his shadow, which is supposed to represent his super ego. Here, it's like an inflated version of LarryBoy with different color schemes. I mean, that's supposed to be scary? Backed up in a corner, LarryBoy takes the time to right his wrong by taking back what he said about everyone in Bumblingburg being worthless. This makes the superego shrink and disappear.
You know, that would be the second monster in this universe, this LarryBoy universe, to shrink and disappear. First it was the Fib from Outer Space, and now the superego. Good job.
So everyone is back to normal, but the alchemist makes a last-ditch effort to be all badass by holding Bob the Tomato at gunpoint. Or flower point, if you will.
Grab him, smack him around, the end.
But then a domino effect happens when Herbert and Wally squirt the alchemist with these jelly donuts, making him spray his mom with the spray, and her getting mad at calling him a klutz, and this causes him to shrink down to size.
What just happened? I don't know.
So the villains are captured, and it seems like another victory for LarryBoy. Then LarryBoy is congratulated by the townsfolk of being heroic, but LarryBoy says that he couldn't have done it without the help of his friends.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the stock boring friends that you had in this movie. Well, it's not as bad as The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Well, maybe.
This movie had a really weird plot, and the villain wasn't all that interesting. The bad guy was nothing but a mama's boy with an enabling mother, and to be frank, this movie didn't seem like a legit LarryBoy movie at all. Between this movie and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, they go hand in hand, though episode 4 is still the worst one. But on the other hand, 80% of the movie shows how bad pride can be, seeing that the hero is the one going through all this instead of a side character. Plus, unlike Angry Eyebrows, the hero's struggle seems less trivial. Yeah, I would give this movie credit for trying to spread the message on how being too prideful can be wrong. Now, for what it is, this movie's lesson was decent, but bad judge a character for the villain.
So thanks again, Whatsoever Critic, for joining me in this review. No prob, but do me a favor. Do not ask me to help you review that 4th episode, okay? Okay.